On a list of people who love audio erotica, I might as well be at the damn top. I've been going on and on for years now about how much I love audio erotica, but this week I wanted to dive a little bit deeper, talk a little bit more, experiment a little bit with just how deep my love for audio erotica goes. Perhaps you know me for my masturbating every day for 30 days video, my ranking masturbation positions video, perhaps even my how to take your best nudes series, okay? I've been getting in there and doing experiments before you were born, bitch. So this week I thought we could do a relaxing experiment, an experiment that I have really already been doing. And that is, of course, diving into the wonderful world of audio erotica, listening to audio erotica every day for 7 days, not consuming any other type of erotic content outside of the audio erotica that I'm going to listen to. And as you might be able to guess, today's video is sponsored by Dipsea, which is my favorite audio erotica app. All of my audio erotica I listen to through Dipsea. No matter what it is you're into or what turns you on, they absolutely have something for you over on Dipsea. I've listened to what has to be hundreds of Dipsea audios at this point, and I have loved all of them. Perhaps you're someone like me who loves being told what to do. May I suggest the James Tells You What to Do series? May I? Maybe you're looking for stories about that coworker that you know you shouldn't pursue, but you really, really want to. A friends to lovers, maybe an enemies to lovers moment. They've got all that and more over on Dipsea, and they're constantly adding new stories, so there is always something new to listen to. I think one of the big pulls for audio erotica is that a lot of it is made by women and for women. So much of erotic content is catered towards men. It's made and totally wrapped up in the male gaze. But the girlies want erotic content too, okay? And so that's where I think platforms like Dipsea come in to really satisfy this hole in the market and provide a plethora of erotic content that's really made by women for other women. So if you're interested in trying out Dipsea either now or by the end of this video, you can head to dipseastories.com/partylikeMaddie for access to a free extended 30-day trial. That is full access to the Dipsea platform and all of the stories they have on it when you go to dipseastories.com/partylikeMaddie. So without further ado, let's get into this experiment. Right off the top here, I think I really just need to introduce you guys to the most important man in my life these days. His name is James, and he tells me what the fuck to do. This is a series on Dipsea called James Tells You What to Do. Self-touch guided soft dominance. James from the Lecture Me series guides you in different styles of self-touch. Close your eyes, relax, and he will talk you all the way to the finish. I think in every single video that I've ever mentioned Dipsea in, I have said that I love being told what to do. So when I stumbled upon the James Tells You What to Do series, I was sold, mama. I was invested.
I think it's gonna be very hard for me to keep my hands to myself, but you know what? I love a challenge. And honestly, it turns me on to make it all about you. So, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to touch yourself, and you're gonna follow my instructions. Can you do that for me?
Yes, sir. I think obviously when I am masturbating without listening to erotic content at the same time, my like masturbation routine, if you will, looks very similar every time. I'm just not doing the most every single time, but I think this series has been great because he's walking you through it. He's telling you what to do. So if he's telling you to do the most, if he's telling you to go slow, if he's telling you to stretch it out, you're gonna stretch it out, bitch.
I hope it's clear that when I say stretch it out, I mean stretching out the length of time it takes to get to completion, not anything else. Just so we're clear.
And I will say that the timing on these are like perfect. Every single one that I've listened to, I've been able to finish at the exact time I'm being told to finish, which just feels good. Right? Like I just feel like I've accomplished something. Good morning, everyone. Fresh out of the shower, getting ready for my day, and I stumbled across a new series last night before bed that I just want to dive into while I'm getting ready this morning. I I've never been like a huge audiobook person, but there's something about the shortness of the Dipsea audios that just make it easier for me to dive into. It's just not as overwhelming, I guess. So the one that I'm interested in, it's called The Local. Her and Him, Enemies to Lovers, Irish Accent. Okay. When Sabrina moved to Ireland, she was ready for anything. Then Killian showed up. There's 21 episodes in the series and they're all like 9 to 11 minutes long, which is great. It's like the perfect amount of time for me to do my makeup, listen to a little something in the background while I'm getting ready, because life is nothing but foreplay, you know? Obviously, I love listening to these audios when I'm actively like ready to masturbate and get into it. But listen, I love erotic content for all hours of the day. When I'm planning to masturbate and when I'm not planning to masturbate, okay? I'll be on the fucking train listening to this shit later. Don't try me. There's just something so fun to me about creating that buildup with yourself. Throughout the day, getting to listen to these short little audios when you're doing your makeup, when you're on your commute, when you're just sitting at the park on your lunch break, whatever it is. Having these little moments with yourself to just slowly build it up over the day so that you're so fucking pumped to go home. It's just fun. The same way that would be fun if you did it with a partner.
Actually, I don't really like heavy beers.
Sabrina, you can't let my countrymen hear you. But if you've not had a Guinness here, you've never had a Guinness.
I'll try it.
That a girl. Oh, you have no idea how much I've been thinking about you. Oh God.
I have a feeling I'm gonna like this series even more as it progresses, because the tags on each episode sort of change from episode to episode. Some of them are the same. So like the tags for the one that I just listened to are Her and Him, Enemies to Lovers, Rough and Wild, Flirty, Irish Accent, Oral, Passionate, and Latinx voices. And then the next one has a lot of the same ones, but it also says intense hookup, intense language, in public, praise kink, jealousy, spontaneous, he doms, which sounds perfectly tailored to me specifically. I love the idea of having sex in public. I feel like so much of my searches in erotic content do connect to public sex or sex in front of other people, but it's one of those things that I don't know if I would actually want to do it. I think I would, but in a very specific context. I am enticed by the idea of participating in more voyeuristic sex acts. However, I do have anxiety. So I think it'd have to be a very specific situation with a very specific partner if I were ever to do something like that in real life. I never have up until this point. I mean, I don't know, I've hooked up with someone in Central Park before. I've given a hand job in Central Park, thank you. And that was my community service in the year 2015. But I think that's the most like public place I've ever done anything sexual. But I do think if I were ever to do like the more wild shit that I have, you know, had fantasies about, it would just be a very specific person and a very specific relationship. In the meantime, until I come across that very specific relationship and very specific situation, I'm gonna enjoy it in my erotic audios. So this morning I wanted to dive into some of the meditation and erotic breathwork content that they have over on Dipsea. I have never listened to any of what they have on there, which is fascinating that I haven't, because I kind of love this shit. I've talked before in videos about how meditation specifically was something that I used to feel like sort of roll my eyes about. In truth, looking back on it, I think I was just immature and couldn't take myself seriously enough to enjoy it and reap the benefits from it. Not to dunk on people that make fun of meditation, but when I look at my past self and why I didn't like meditation, it was more of a reflection of myself than it was of anybody else or the practice of meditation itself. Hi. And now meditation has become a really regular practice in my life to just ground myself and set intentions for the day. Sometimes I will do like a 5-minute meditation that I'll just find on YouTube. Sometimes I will not follow a meditation at all, but just sit silently with myself. Other times I will sort of walk myself through a meditation. Other times morning meditation for me is like journaling uninterrupted for 10 minutes, setting a timer and just making myself write until, you know, I've got 3 pages filled up or whatever. And recently I've also been loving pulling a little oracle card at the beginning of the day for just like a message, set the tone, whatever it is that I need to hear, whatever it is that I need to keep in mind today. So I figured I would pull a card for us collectively today. What is a message that we need to hear before diving into some of this erotic breathwork and meditation content? I'm very interested to see what it's gonna be like. But all right, without further ado, here is our message of today. Wow, I kind of love that the card literally shows someone doing like a meditation. The cards be talking. Awakened, higher perspective, answering your calling, a new person. This card means you're awakening to a truth about the purpose of your life and the choices you are making. You're starting to see where this winding road called life will lead and becoming crystal clear about what is required to get there. This could be a time of spiritual, religious, or sexual awakening. Guys, what the hell is going on? I love that we just pulled this card. What a good card for us to pull today. If you're interested, this is the Realist Oracle deck by Kendra Austin, who I love and have mentioned in videos before. Super fun. I've been pulling one of these like every single day. It's just, I love it. It's a fun little way to start the day. Erotic meditations. Connect with your body and tap into your sensuality with Misha Battle, a certified sex and dating coach. In each session, she'll guide you through an erotic meditation designed to get you deeper in touch with your desire. Okay, there's 3 options. Mapping pleasure, sensual recentering, and pleasure and memory. I'm feeling most drawn to sensual recentering right now. The tags for this one are solo, erotic exercise, and calming. So I would love to feel a little calm right now, this morning. Let's do it.
This shift towards a closer mind-body connection can allow us to be more present during sex, and in turn, give us access to deeper levels of pleasure.
That one was a pretty short, pretty quick meditation. I probably could have jumped into something a little bit longer, just knowing that this isn't my first fucking rodeo. But I really liked it. And it is a lot of fun exploring other types of erotic content, because it's true that, like, yeah, a lot of erotic content is aimed towards turning us on, immediate pleasure. But there's also so much erotic content that's not necessarily about turning us on or bringing us to an immediate place of pleasure, but allowing us to create deeper connections with our minds and our bodies, so that when we are ready to experience pleasure, we have a better chance at making it happen. I feel like I get messages all the time, whether it's in the comment section of my videos or in the submission box for my podcast. So many people struggle with being in their head during sex to the point where they're not able to orgasm. And I really do think that consuming erotic content, not necessarily aimed at immediate pleasure, but that is aimed at connecting with your sensual self and just deepening the mind-body connection when it comes to experiencing pleasure, breathing through experiencing pleasure, is really important. And I think it really does serve everyone, whether or not you're someone that has a hard time getting out of your head during sex or masturbation. I think it's just like a good practice to be in touch with your sensual self, to take time to consume erotic content or have an erotic practice that's not necessarily centered around pleasure, but more around building a solid foundation with yourself. So I'm a big fan. Good evening, folks. It's high time we get into some serious business, and by serious business, I mean moan audios, baby. Let's fucking go. Y'all weren't listening to moan audios? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was the only woman with taste around here. I'm kidding. I know you guys were all listening to moan audios, just like everyone else with taste. Moaning is sexy. Let me hear it, baby. Let me fucking hear it. Let's play Would You Rather, shall we? Would you rather have sex and come, or have sex and not come, but you listen to your partner moaning the whole time? Because I might pick option 2. I mean, finishing is great too, but it's not all about that. Sometimes it's about drama and theatrics, mama. I just love a good old-fashioned moan. I love hearing myself moan. I love hearing other people moan. I think it is so sexy. It takes any level of horniness that I was and it amplifies it by 10. I've opened up the Moan Audios playlist and it's about to go down in here on this day. Moan audio: 2 women sneak away from a party. 2 women can't wait until the end of the party, so they sneak away into a free bedroom and hook up as the party goes on outside the door. They try their best to stay quiet as things heat up between them. Tags are her and her, just moans, no words, pleasure sounds, masturbation, heavy breathing, secretive. I love this shit. Sometimes you don't need words, okay? Tonight, I don't need words. I just need heavy breathing and moaning, baby. That's all I fucking need. Also, they use a lot of the same actors as the voice actors that do the characters in the erotic storylines they do. The one that I've been listening to with Killian, the Irish pub owner, he does one on here. Killian sends you a voice memo. Killian from The Local is at home on a stormy night in Ireland. The fireplace is crackling and he's wishing you were with him to enjoy it. So he records a voice memo to show you just how much he misses you. And it's just moaning, no words. Just Irish moans, if that means anything to any of you, because it means something to me. Listen, I have sex once a year at this point, if that, but when I do, I often find myself thinking about the language of moaning, because different moans mean different things, and you've got to be able to, you know, be quick on your feet here. Identify what moans are meaning what's the vibe, what's the storyline. I don't know, I feel like I've just thought about that within the context of like back when I was having a lot more sex than I do now when I was in college, and they would perceive like this is good, keep doing it moan as like an I've finished moan, which is like, those are 2 different things. Also, I just feel like there's a more like physical reaction when you're coming. I mean, I guess everyone's different, but for me, there's a pairing. You'll know when you know, babe. Don't worry. They say you know when you know. I don't know. That was like at least half of the men that I had sex with in college. If it's not like the movies. Oh my god, not like the movies by Katy Perry has a double meaning depending who you are. But I was also like, I wonder if part of that comes from the fact that men feel like they shouldn't moan or that it's feminine to moan. And I feel like so many young men are so like strangely silent in bed. And I'm like, speak up. I want to hear you whimper, you motherfucker. I just need you to get vulnerable with me, okay? Because nothing is gonna turn me on more than if you do that. If you're whimpering and fucking moaning as a grown man, that's all it takes to get me across the finish line, babe. Your work here is done. But I wonder if it's like because so many men like repress that within themselves, they have a hard time understanding the language of moans. Women are beautiful, beautiful creatures, mama.
So I'm getting deeper into The Local, which is the series with Killian, the Irish pub owner. And this second episode is like a hookup fueled by a little bit of innocent jealousy, which I kind of love. I think jealousy, when it's light and playful, can be really, really sexy. Like within the context of their relationship, she just moved in to the apartment above the pub that I guess he also plays some sort of role in managing. I don't think he's a landlord. Is he a landlord? I think that like maybe he's like the equivalent of like the super, and he owns the pub underneath. That's what I'm telling myself. He's like a handyman, a helpful guy that lives there nearby, works there. Not the landlord. This isn't landlord porn. Within the context of their relationship, she just moved into the apartment above the pub. They've met like twice at this point. They've hooked up once. And it was just casual, flirty fun, right? She moved to this town in Ireland because she is studying. She's going to get her degree. And so she met this guy in one of her classes. A few days later, she ends up taking him on a date to the pub. Was this intentional? I say probably. Killian is just an acquaintance, but they have fucked, and he is really sexy. So bringing a date to that pub ignites a little bit of fun, low-stakes jealousy that obviously boils into them fucking again, this time at the bar in the back while customers are there. Killian is also lightly flirting with another customer when she arrives and she pulls up to the bar. So that adds another fun little layer because there's jealousy on both sides that is clearly present. They clearly have chemistry. They have a vibe. Whether or not it's anything serious kind of doesn't fucking matter because jealousy at this stage is just being used as a catalyst to have rough sex, which is great. Because they're not jealous in the way of like they're actually genuinely angry or upset. They're jealous in the way of like, but I want you. And I want you to pay attention to me and only me. And that's weird that you're not doing that. Bizarre. Okay, now take your clothes off. Maybe you've been bad. Maybe I need to punish you. Maybe you need to punish me. Maybe we've both been bad. Fuck. It's just so good. It's so... But I'm actually really enjoying this story as like an out and about daytime read, which is what I thought that I was going to enjoy it as. It's a nice little build up throughout the day. Yes, I am listening to dirty talk in my headphones when you see me in public. Walking down the street listening to some Irish dude moan in my ear. Absolutely, yes, the fuck I am. It's just a taste level that some of you don't understand. And I pity those of you that don't understand. Try it. Try it and see how much your life improves. It's like some people say that waking up early or taking cold showers is going to improve your happiness levels. I'm telling you right now, listening to an Irish man moan as you walk down Flushing Ave, now that's something. So I'm really enjoying this one. I would highly recommend.
So you guys remember James, right? James as in the one that was telling us what to do. Yeah, that guy. So James is actually a character that's a part of a larger series called Lecture Me, which is how I found out about James Tells You What to Do in the first place, because I have listened to... Oh, we have a special guest! So the James character is actually a very well-loved and well-known character from the Lecture Me series. There's 24 episodes. I've listened to quite a few of these completely out of order because this series was one that became like a masturbation series for me, so I would just throw one on and masturbate to whatever part of the story I was listening to, because there's always, it's like you can listen to them as like one-off, like what do they used to call them in the Tumblr days, one-shots, where you definitely don't have to listen to all of them, and not in order either. You can just like get a snapshot into the relationship, into the vibe by listening to one. So I've listened to quite a few of these, not in any type of order.
I wasn't aware there were rules I needed to be following. How do you know this spot is safe?
Does it need to be?
So I don't know. James and Killian are definitely my two favorite male recurring characters of all the stories I've listened to so far. But the James Tells You What to Do series might just be so special, near and dear to my heart, that James might be my favorite overall. I just saw a clip of some men on some podcast, not bothered to recall what their names are, and they were talking about audio erotica and basically saying that they could do it better. And the example of them doing it better was literally so much worse to me. I'm like, this is why y'all gotta just let the girlies handle the audio erotica world, okay? If you don't find it sexy, if it doesn't turn you on, go watch all the porn that's geared towards men, okay? Audio erotica is such a beautiful thing because so much of it is made by women and for women, and you can fucking tell. Now I will say, the situation that the guys in the little clip that I just watched were talking about is something that I personally don't find attractive at all, and it actually turns me off.
but I get that some people do find it attractive. The act that I'm referring to is spitting in someone's mouth during sex, which I get that a lot of people like. I am not one of those people. I find it disgusting. Obviously, I've done it before. Fucking obviously. But every time somebody has done that to me, I've always just been like, well, this is gross. This is disgusting. And I know someone out there is gonna be like, oh, isn't it the same as making out? No. What do you mean? Is it the same as making out? Like, making out, kissing, and swapping spit in that way is like a romantic, sensual exchange of spit, okay? Not hawking a loogie down my throat, which is crazy, I don't want like a glob of spit. I don't need like a little package delivered in the hole. And making out is more like, it's about like the melding of spit, you know what I mean? It's the combination, it's the brewing, the cooking, if you will. Whereas just like spitting in my mouth, like baby birding spit to me, I'm just sort of like, this is gross and we both know it's gross, and I feel like you're getting off right now by doing gross things to me, and I don't like that. I know that some people do. I'm just not one of them. I'm not here to kink shame though. If you like it, I love that for you. But me, I don't love that. Anyways, speaking of creators, one of the interesting little corners of content they have on Dipsea is they have some TikTok creators that read audios. I don't know who this is, but maybe some of you guys do. At Marcy. I'm a mental health advocate and wannabe DJ. Book talk requests, boyfriend role plays, and impressions are my specialty. His name is Ryan. But he's a TikTok creator, I guess, that he has like 25 audios on Dipsea, and they're all like little POV role play things. But there's quite a few creators that do shit like this. I was listening to one the other day. Let me find it. Banana Marie, her as well. I'm a modern lover with mommy energy. I love fashion, self-growth, and helping you prioritize your pleasure. Now be a good girl and go listen to my audios. That was why I listened. That was the sentence that got me. And I will say, more than anything, listening to these audios from other creators on Dipsea has just made me be inside my head like, but I feel like I could be good at this. But I feel like I could absolutely do really great erotic audio. I feel like I could write really great erotic audio. Like, am I discovering a new passion project of mine? I want to create my own erotic audio. Anyways, it's been a week of doing this, a week of diving into my favorite audio erotica app. And though listening to audio erotica regularly was already part of my day-to-day life, I do feel like doing a little bit every day, incorporating a little bit of content into my day, guaranteed every day for a week, has definitely just encouraged exploration within my sexual and sensual self.
Honestly, I think this week was just a good reminder for me of how much better I feel when I take the time to really pour into my sensual and sexual side in a way that feels like it really like feeds me and not just like a quick release of pleasure when I have 5 minutes before bed. I've talked about making masturbation and self-pleasure, solo pleasure special in videos before and how much better that makes me feel, and this feels like a very easy way to elongate that process, pour more into that process, and just make it a little bit more about me. So again, if you're interested in trying out Dipsea, you can go to dipseastories.com/partylikeMaddie for a free extended 30-day trial to check out all of Dipsea and what they have to offer. It'll all be linked in the description down below. Be sure to check them out. You guys will not regret it. If you want to hear more from me, be sure to listen to my podcast, Emotionally Online, that comes out every single Friday on YouTube and all streaming services. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Maddie Dragsbaek, because I post a lot over there and would love to see you. So with that, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.